Hello and welcome back to actually what's been quite a requested video. We know Djamel Belmadi, well we've actually seen a few African countries already come out and announce their squads for this bumper international break. This international break is a massive opportunity. It's a World Cup warm-up situation, which we're not going to. We know Tunisia are playing a tournament in the Far East, we know Morocco are going to the States. And in this video we're going to be looking at potential people that Djamel Belmadi could be bringing into this Algeria squad. I'm not talking about rumours, I'm not talking about people that have Algerian eligibility that aren't going to come, the likes of Michael Elise. I'm talking about people that could genuinely be playing for Algeria in the next few weeks. Okay, these are concrete names. We're going to do 12 names. I'm not saying all 12 are going to come. I'm saying at least one of these 12, maybe 2 or 3, is going to come and play for Algeria. If Belmadi is going to stop being stubborn, show that he's not stubborn, prove that, bring these new players in. So here are 12 players I think that could possibly come in to the Algeria setup in the next international break, where teams, nations and countries can play not once, not twice, not 3 times, but up to 4 international games, which is really, really good for everyone involved. So we'll start off with the goalkeeper position. I've got 3 goalkeepers I've listed here that I could see coming into the Algerian national team. Obviously we've got Mbolahi, we've got Kija, we've got Zugba. They're you know, old, shall we say. We need some new goalkeepers, and I think we've got the AFCON qualifiers, but friendlies are a good opportunity to try out. Even in these games really, you probably want to try out some new players with respect to the Ugandans and the Tanzanians. But here are 3 goalkeepers we could see come in. Number 1 is Anthony Mandrea. We made a video about him. Check it out if you haven't seen it, if you don't know who he is. Goalkeeper in Ligue 1 this season at Angers. Algerian on his mum's side from Schleff. Never going to play for France, is he? He's never ever going to be picked for France over the likes of Larouci, Mandanda and all those guys. Areola. Showed interest in playing for the Algerian national team, but is Belmadi going to go and get him? We're going to finally make that effort and get these players on board. And Ligue 1 goalkeeper, I don't think Algeria are in a position to be turning down goalkeepers at this stage. This is a position that could become a real problem in a few years' time. If it wasn't for Rice and Mbolahi, who's kept the number 1 shirt for the last 12 years, in 12 years, Algeria have not produced a goalkeeper capable of taking the number 1 shirt off of Rice and Mbolahi, which is outrageous. He literally was Lunis Gawowi since Mbolahi was in goal. Anthony Mandrea could take that spot, so he's an option. Option number 2 for the goalkeeper, he's also in Liga but not actually playing, sort of in the B team at Nice. One of a few Algerians that seem to be playing for Nice. This is Teddy, what a name, Teddy Bulhendi. Played for Algeria at youth level. Again, this is a player most certainly Algerian. He's part Italian, funnily enough. Bulhendi can play for France, Italy or Algeria, but I can't see him taking over Donnarumma or like I said, Lloris anytime soon. Bulhendi committed to the national team again, could come in, but at some point you've got to call up these players, not to play, but to integrate them with the squad. And you think, if you're a young Teddy Bulhendi or an Anthony Mandrea, learning, watching, playing and training with Rice and Mbolahi will do you the world of good in terms of advice, coaching and tips. So I think you've got to bring them in and start moulding them into the team. So you've got Bulhendi, and you've also got Gaia Merbah, who plays in Moroccan, in the Botola, in Morocco, in the Moroccan top tier, playing Moroccan club football. Gaia Merbah is a keeper that's obviously played in Algeria, moved on to Morocco. Good goalie that obviously knows Algerian and African football very well from his time on the continent, played in the CAF continental competitions as well as the domestic leagues in Morocco and Algeria. I think you could see Gaia Merbah potentially be Algeria's number 1 in the future, because it's a good level to be playing at. It's much better than the Algerian league. You might see him move on again to an even better team, maybe a Tunisian side or an Egyptian side. So I think Gaia Merbah is another player you could see coming to the fold. So that's the sort of the goalkeeping situation taken care of. Then we look at the defence, and I look at the full-back areas, and you look at what happens with Rami Ben Sabini gets a suspension. We panic. Atal has to play at the left-back position because we've called in a left-back that wasn't capable of starting the game. Anyway, a few left-backs I could see come in here. Number 1 is Yanis Hamache. I think Hamache is another player, pretty much Algerian, just hasn't played for us. He's a player that will come in, just a matter of when, not if. He could come into this international break. Yanis Hamache playing in Portugal at Boa Vista. We've seen plenty of left backs come into this position and be shocking. I'm talking about Khasef. I'm talking about Abdellaoui. I thought I'd never have to mention this guy again. Anyway, Hamache, very good at set pieces as well. He would be a brilliant option to come in to the left back as a backup, that is. Not as a starter, as a backup, because I think Rami Bensebaini will be there in years to come. A player that could challenge Rami, though, is Rayan Ait-Nouri. Started in the Premier League recently against Manchester City. We've got a player here that wants to play for Algeria, playing Premier League football. It's a bit odd. We've got a player we've got a left back that could play for Algeria. Rayan Ait-Nouri is top half in the Prem, by the way, not relegation, top half. And we didn't have a left back for the Cameroon game, but we've got Hamache sitting there. I think Hamache was injured. We've got Ait-Nouri that could have come in. I mean, come on. We could have had Ait-Nouri in that side over a right back who's injured half the time, playing at left wing back. Rayan Ait-Nouri plays in a 5 at the back anyway at Wolves. Surely that makes him even more perfect for that role, to bring him in as the backup left back or as a starting left wing back. So Rayan Ait-Nouri in the fullback position. For me, the most likely left back to come into this next squad would be Yasser Larouci, who is now at Troyes, I think. I think they're in the French second division. He was at Liverpool. He was signed into the Liverpool under-18s by Steven Gerrard, of all people. He brought him to Liverpool. Born in Algeria, I believe. Born in El Oued. Went to Liverpool's academy, sold to Troyes. Played a few games in France this season. And again, young, born in Algeria. It would be crazy if we lost him to France. The lad's born in Algeria. I think that would be even more shocking than the likes of the Fakir and Aouar cases. I think Larouci could come in just to get him capped, play a competitive game, experience him with the lads. I think it's easy to integrate Larouci, of course. I think, again, good option to bring in. And then, of course, you've got the right back side, Akim Zadudka, with Clermont, obviously in the relegation battle in Ligue 1, but still playing in Ligue 1, playing against the likes of Paris, Monaco, Nice, Rennes, Marseille. Zadudka has to come in for me in that right back position, because when Artal does get injured, got away with it winning AFCON, putting Mehdi Zafan there, can't do that anymore. Beniarda is a really good option defensively. Beniarda is fantastic. He's actually better than Artal Beniarda defensively, but in terms of going forward, if you want to attack a team, I can't see Hossein Beniarda doing what Kyle Walker does for Riyad Mahrez. So I think Akim Zadudka, younger, fresher, 25, 26, could do a role like that. So that takes care of the fullback positions. That's sort of the priority positions for me anyway, going forward. But I'd like to see them not just be in this squad, but also start against Uganda and start against Tanzania and start in potential friendlies. And then we've got more lads playing in Ligue 2. Of course, we had Victor Lachal. Remember, Victor Lachal came into our midfield from Le Havre a few years ago. We had Oussama Cheetah. We've got some new lads now. We've got Ahmed Abdelli playing in Ligue 2. We've got him as a potential option. We've got Samir Shoghi playing in Ligue 2 as well. These are guys we want to get on board. And then we've got a few lads in Belgium. We've got Massaoudi, who could play, similar path to the likes of Zurgan, to the likes of Artal when he was playing in Belgium. So I think Bensebaini played in Belgium at one stage as well. So you've got Massaoudi, you've got Kadri, came through the system at Paradou. So you've got certainly a few options there for the Algerian national team. And these aren't players you're going to lose to France. These are really good potential players for the future. You have to start building now for the future. I don't want to see Goudiora again, Taharat again. Give the new lads a real opportunity to shine in this team, because you can't just bring them in to play, straight away in an AFCON semi-final. They've got to be learned, developed, nurtured. In terms of the attacking positions, one player, again, I think you could see very likely potentially come into the next Algeria squad under Djamel Belmadi is another player at Nice, and that is Mr. Bilal Brahimi. You thought you'd seen the back of Brahimi. Well, how about another one? Bilal Brahimi. Once upon a time, this guy was at Middlesbrough in England, now playing for Nice in the French division. Started a few games in Ligue 1 this season on the wing, can play on the left wing, can play on the right wing, can play as a cam. Not really seeing too much in terms of goal assists return, but it's a good option to have. We need some younger players, and it would be nice to see him called up for the Algerian national team. So there we have it, guys. There are a dozen or so players that could come and play for Algeria, and I would be very surprised if none of these guys, genuinely zero, nil nada, nil point, came, Eurovision, it'll be, if none of these 12 are in, it's a disgrace. Because that would mean we're basically just bringing the old mob back together. I'm not talking about your Houssam Aouars. I'm not talking about your Yassine Adlis, your Maxime Lopez's, your Amin Gouris, your Andy Delors. I'm talking about players that are just give them a go. Because you know if they're not good enough, then you don't call them again. That's how international football works. I've seen every country do it. But anyway, guys, any players you think we might see come to the Algeria setup very soon, let me know in the comments down below. But subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.